This is the amount of weeks you have left to live if you're 30, 40, 50, or even 60. Welcome to my channel. Thank you for being here. My name is Luc Nicolas Vellecritien. And with my channel, I hope to be helping people to find their purpose and build a business around it. What is it about being open and willing to learn and grow? I can tell you one thing, that if you are open and willing to make mistakes, to be a fool, to be the idiot in the room, you will have much greater success. You will have much greater satisfaction in the time you have left than if you are afraid of making mistakes, afraid of failing. And what I want to be addressing here is the fact that a lot of people are afraid to lose their face. They are afraid to make mistakes. They are afraid of what people might think of them. They are afraid that perhaps they become less if they show a sign of weakness, a sign of not knowing. Well, I'm to tell you here that's not true. That's actually the contrary is true. I have seen people that have shown the most vulnerable side of themselves whilst doing a presentation, and actually by doing that, by opening up and by showing themselves vulnerable to everyone, the audience instead actually shows a sign of affection, so shows a sign of relating to that person, being open and vulnerable. I love the quote of the Chinese philosopher Confucius, which says that if you are afraid to look like a fool, perhaps for a day, the man that does not ask a question will be a fool for a lifetime. It is probably not exactly the way he wrote it, but the point is that if you're willing to ask questions, to learn, especially from mistakes that you make in life, that is actually when you truly make a leap in progress, is where you see that the incremental change in whatever you're working at, perhaps your personal life or a business, you will see huge improvements when you are willing to set up yourself in in a humble position and willing to learn from other people. I personally have learned tremendous amount from this making mistakes, from this failing forward. In life, there's no better school than life itself. There is no better school than actually just doing. But there is a big difference between the approach of just doing something, right? So, for example, you're working on, you have this desire to build a business for yourself, to convert your life's purpose, your perhaps your passion or your hobby into something that can actually generate you an income. But in that process, you are not actually getting any feedback from what and how you're doing things. And that is a very, very risky approach. Why? Because the person that is humble, that is willing to be the idiot in the room, that is willing to make the mistakes that actually make you grow, help you grow, the point is you need to learn from them. You need to gather that feedback and in your mind process that so that the next time you are a slightly bit better than you were the day before. And it doesn't have to be any huge, any drastic changes from day to day, but it could be a small nuance. Perhaps it could be the way perhaps you talk to the people at work, perhaps the way you talk to your wife. These are all small details to which you can slightly improve your life. And a concept that I want to introduce, probably you've heard of it. If not, then I will just quickly go through it, is the growth mindset. There are basically two approaches. There is the approach or the thought of school that says you have what you have, meaning that your talents and your skills that you were that you that 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 were gifted to you, at birth is all you have, meaning perhaps you're good at mathematics, or you're good at music, or perhaps you're good with physics. That is fixed mindset. A fixed mindset states that you in your current state will only be skilled or master that skill at which you were good at when you were born. Whilst the growth mindset is a completely opposite, polar position compared to the fixed mindset. The growth mindset states that if you were born with a specific talent, that doesn't mean you can't become, let's say, well at performing another skill. In the contrary, the growth mindset believes that there is this kind of magic, you could call it magic, functioning when someone learns and is willing and open to learn, right? And what you see is that the growth mindset states that you can basically become anything that you desire to become in your life. You just need to put in the work and effort, and your mind can grow. Your capabilities are not limited to what you were gifted at. The point is that in school, for example, this is a huge issue, a huge problem, because people are being labeled specific, let's say, classifications. So you get a classification of perhaps an IQ that is very high. That means that you are being labeled high potential, while someone else that perhaps has from the IQ test a lower result, they are being labeled, classified as low potential. What that does, it creates limitations for actually doing great things in life. And that's the sad reality that a lot of people are facing, that they are facing a fixed mindset. They are facing an environment where people tell you don't do that because you're not good at it, or perhaps you are not made to do this X, Y, or Z. I believe that's completely untrue. And coming back at making mistakes, being the fool in the room, being the idiot in the room, it is all very much related. And I can tell you why. In business, imagine you're trying to build or grow a business because you feel that it is the vehicle that provides you with the greatest flexibility, with the greatest room to build something that you're passionate about, to turn your hobbies, your passions, or perhaps a skill that you are good at into a business. The question is, business is highly complex, very highly complex. It changes over time very rapidly, and it does not only change rapidly over time, you need to have business skills and tools in order to start, grow, and maintain a business. 90% of all small businesses that get launched fail within 10 years. That's a staggeringly high percentage. So the question you should be asking yourself is, what skill in particular helps businesses to survive longer? And there is one skill in particular that is really, really well at helping businesses survive. And it has to do with adaptability. It has to do with innovation. Innovating is basically you or a business adapting to the environment that it resides in. So for example, now we have a strong technological development. That means that if you as a company do not incorporate technology in your business, you're lagging behind. And that brings you actually to a position where you lose the power that you have in a specific market. So innovation is related to having a growth mindset, because it is basically very much in line thinking that everything is possible. This is the same, applies the same with innovation. With innovation, you have an idea, you have a vision to innovate, to improve a current product or service. But without having the right mindset, knowing that you can actually make it work, that the prototype, the idea that you have in your mind can actually become viable, there is no sense in doing it. So that is why innovation is very much related to having a growth mindset. And a growth mindset is very much related to being open to make mistakes, not being afraid of being labeled the fool and you will remain the fool for the rest of your life. No, that is completely the contrary of what is essential, and essential for example, maintaining a successful business in that sense. So, just to recap here, I believe truly that in order to learn and grow in life, the fastest possible way is to be open, is to be vulnerable, is to set up your position, your way of speaking, your way of being, totally vulnerable, total humility from the perspective of wanting to learn, wanting to become a better person, serving others, serving your clients, or serving at your job in a stronger and better way, by having a growth mindset, by having a mindset that tells you you are able to achieve everything that you desire and everything that you set to achieve. Of course, you need diligence, you need hard work, practice, you need to invest the time, but that doesn't mean that it's not possible. And the last thing is innovation. In business, innovation is one of the most essential, the most important skills and elements to apply for sustainability. And sustainability not only in terms of caring for our environment, but sustainability in terms of how long does a business actually exist for? How long can you reside in the environment that you're currently operating in? So, okay, I have another video that is about how you can build your own marketing strategy, why marketing is one of the essential business skills and tools besides innovation. And there is also a playlist that I've created about finding your purpose. Purpose is one of the essential drivers in business. Having a clear purpose, having a clear why is essential also for profitability. So, thank you for watching. If you liked this video, then please leave behind a comment, leave behind a like, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.